for live studio audience.
Yeah. So this is the bad cop segment, but not live though, and not live. But this is kind of breaking news though right now with kind of Kyle Rittenhouse, the little child who killed other two white people over black people, pretty much. Pretty much they've been raising tons of money for this little piglet, like millions of dollars.
Wow, you really went there.
So the prosecutors were like, we need to raise his bail so high that maybe he could be safer in jail. They're worried about his safety. What about he could be safe in jail? He'd be way safer there, in solitary confinement or whatever. That's the wrong thing to say. Solitary confinement is bad for anybody. But I mean, he could be somewhere, safe, not like in the hands of neo-fascist people at the moment. So this is kind of crazy news right now. So the judge declines new arrest warrant for Kyle Rittenhouse, accused of killing two people during the Kenosha protest. So this is stuff that happened last year that's still, a problem now. It's taking this long to take this man to court. These people have been long evicted since this man killed these two people. But yeah, it's taken a long time for this trial to happen. So, just want to put that out there when it comes to the legal system, how it operates. So,
let's call a matter now. The state of Wisconsin versus Kyle.
So this is like
Rittenhouse.
This is not as cute as the cat. The cat.
May I have the appearances, please?
The state appears by Assistant District Attorneys Thomas Binger and Jason Zaff.
Good afternoon. Mr. Rittenhouse appears via Zoom from my office.
So you see the clown sitting right behind him.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. Any objection holding this hearing via the Zoom application?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Then the court will find that good cause does exist to hold this hearing and any subsequent hearings this afternoon via the Zoom application based on the coronavirus pandemic, as well as orders previously entered by the Supreme Court for the state of Wisconsin and the Kenosha County Circuit Court, further barring any objections raised by defendants and/or defendants' counsel. All right, thank you. We are here today for arraignment in this matter. On behalf of Mr. Rittenhouse, Mr. Richards, do you acknowledge receipt of a copy of the information?
Your Honor, I would acknowledge receipt of the information, waive the reading of the
information. So that's Kyle Rittenhouse sitting there.
I have went over all the potential penalties with
my he really has embraced that racist stance, even though the people he killed were white.
The $36.
But the weird
earlier today,
stupid ass symbols he made with his hands.
The upside down, okay.
Yeah. I assume then at this
point because there was race traders, I guess.
Yes. Prepared to enter not guilty pleas to all the charges.
Well, they view the people that he killed as race traders.
Not guilty pleas to all counts contained in the information are noted and entered for the record. Matters shall now be counted for further proceedings before the Honorable Bruce E. Schrader presiding, and any and all previously imposed bond conditions and issues of bail have remain in full force and effect. Do you understand that, Mr. Rittenhouse?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
A pre-trial conference with Judge Schrader, March 10th at 9 o'clock.
So Schrader is the guy who pretty much who's like, not going to increase his bail.
That's fine.
Not going to reveal his public address of a murder defendant.
March 29th.
I can see why they would not reveal his public address, but the prosecutors should know.
But that's for legally what they do for murder defendants.
I don't know if they have any other dates, but I think to be able to
murder
try
defendants,
this case in
their addresses on public records,
is kind of ridiculous.
I understand the court's policy with Judge Schrader is to give us a jury trial date out of this, but we can take this up with the court on that March 10th judicial pretrial date. As far as the amount of discovery, Attorney Richards, I do have a external hard drive that contains reports and videos that I can get to you. If you want to shoot me an email or give me a call, we can make arrangements for that in the next day or two.
Sounds good.
Okay, they're in agreement on something.
Jury date that Judge Schrader has is March 29th.
This is legal bullshit. So, so pretty much the way we saw there was the district attorney said in public court filings that prosecutors realized Rittenhouse was no longer living at his address. That was news before, that was like public news. Like, remember he was at the bar, with his putting the creepy symbols with the Proud Boys, whoever those people were.
It's just a universal symbol that, even police officers have been using that upside down okay sign to symbolize white power.
Yeah. So it's different parts of this that's crazy. The fact that how much money he was able to raise, so much money that people were giving him, in order
when there are people starving out there, there are people who are, their businesses are tanking because of the Rona, but you're putting all of this money into this kid because he used illegal means to kill people who don't agree with you.
Yeah, he went across state lines, minor, and murdered 2 people, and then went back home. Walked past the cops, like he was going to the gas station to get a microwavable burger or something. And,
absolutely disgraceful.
So it was crazy. It was crazy news to know that they didn't know where he was. Regardless if his address is revealed or not.
He could have went into Canada. He could have went where Trump is going.
It's the fact that they didn't know where they didn't know where he was. It's okay, we don't know where he was. They didn't know who he was. That was the problem. Yeah. It's like, so.
And if you look at any criminal court case, the prosecution always wants to know where the defendant is because what if they're a flight risk? I mean, they put over $2 million into this kid to celebrate his killing of people they don't agree with.
Yeah, for a man,
you could have taken that $2 million and gone anywhere.
And you have to realize what this child killed. By the time this court happens, he's probably gonna be a man. I keep saying that because I feel like the shit's getting dragged so long. He's gonna be an adult by the time this shit. I mean, I guess I don't know, man. But so pretty much what was crazy is the fact that what happened, why those protesters were happening. We have to reflect on that too. It was like because of a man that was just shot, paralyzed, and then they're still letting the cops go. They're still and people were protesting that before they even got to that conclusion in the courts about the cops. They were protesting right when it happened because they knew that was going to trajectory of what's going to happen. Those cops are going to paralyze this man. Say that he had a knife in his car or whatever bullshit. Mm-hmm. A knife later in his car. Like people don't have box cutters or like whatever in a car. Doesn't mean it's a weapon, but whatever. So that's what people were protesting about. And then this child and his mom shows up at the protests, with firearms. And people didn't like that. So they tried to take the gun from him. And then he shot 2 people who were trying to disarm him. So that makes it even more crazy. The fact that it was peaceful people trying to take the gun from him because they knew.
And you know what the narrative is. Oh, they were going to kill him with a plastic bag that looked like a Molotov cocktail. They threw a plastic bag at him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy.
Yeah.
If Kyle Rittenhouse was Andre Williams, would these court proceedings be going this way?
I mean, look at the names they opened fire on. Look at these names. These are not black people. I'm not even being prejudiced. I'm just saying that you look at these names. We know these not white. He shot at white protesters. It's just crazy to me. So White House maintained he fired in self-defense, even though he shouldn't have been there. And it's not.
I mean, think about it, right?
Yeah.
The city we live in, New York City. Yeah. New York City does not honor our Second Amendment rights to bear arms. They don't honor it, right?
Yeah, you turn your gun in as soon as you go in the city. It's like kind of the Wild West type of situation. You go to the salon after. It's one of those kind of towns,
Right.
Yeah.
So what if I was what if I killed someone in defense of my own life?
Yeah.
They were going to kill me.
Yeah.
But I killed them. Right?
After
would we be having this fucking conversation at all?
No. It'd be the worst birthday ever.
Remember,
locked up.
Plaxico Burress cheddar bobbed himself, and they were and while he was recovering from shooting himself near his own dick, they gave him 3 years in prison.
I remember that. He got jail for shooting himself.
Right?
Yeah.
And we got this kind of bullshit going on when the kid wasn't even in his own state. He was in possession illegally of a firearm in a different state.
And then in this story, like he was at a bar. Rittenhouse could consume alcohol in a bar under Wisconsin law because he was with his mother. This mother is letting this 17-year-old drink, is letting him hang with the worst possible people in the universe right now.
Or according to them, the best possible people in the universe. Because apparently they hate liberals.
You're special people. I love you, according to Trump. So
and Trump was doing all kinds of mental gymnastics in limbo. I mean, he was limboing pretty low for a 74-year-old to try to make what he did somehow defensible.
And that's what makes the impeachment trials is so crazy to me, because it's like, even though they're probably not going to indict him, which is going to like really be a dark time in history. But it's the fact that
they're not going to impeach him. Come on, man. You already know what fucking world we're living in.
They're not. But this side watching it, you just see like the first time in a long time. The first time I think that people actually hammering like this. He said this tweet while this video was happening. He said this while this was happening. He did this. They're really connecting to those words to actual what's happening. It's like I've never seen CNN do that.
And the Republicans will say, what team do I play for? Red?
Yeah.
Not guilty. They're not. The thing is, none of them are considering the evidence.
Yeah, they already made the decisions already.
They've already made up their mind. Like they're sitting at a trial and their vote is already in.
Yeah.
And whether or not their position is the right position, that approach alone invalidates the process in its entirety. Period.
So that goes with this Rittenhouse situation. All these situations is letting wackadoodle loose stuff with one person while you hammer people for like having nickel bags and like, guns in their car. I mean, knives in the car, not having guns, knives, box cutter in the car. If you're hammering people for that, we're going to murder people for that. But, a person who actually murders people who shouldn't have even been there in the first place, who shouldn't even have that gun in the first place. Yeah, you're just dragging your feet, dragging as long as you can with this, until maybe he actually does escape. Maybe he does escape because you're taking so fucking long, So that's a quick, hit about Kyle Rittenhouse right now. We have to keep our eyes on him because, Wisconsin's not doing it. So we have to do it. So that's Black Power Magic Hour. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. We're always live, even though we're not live at the moment right now, but we're going to go back live.
We're alive.
Yeah, we're alive. Alive. We're not a cat, but we're alive.